Hey guys, Razorblade Mango here, and welcome to the first Popcorn Mango of 2020, where I've waited to do one of these for a big release movie, and I guess I'll start out with Birds of Prey, because that is the latest film in the DC Extended Universe series, which for me has been a little bit of a mixed bag, but I think they were on a hot streak for a while. I think Aquaman is really good. I expected Shazam to be a big pile of shit, but that ended up being one of my favorite movies of last year. I really like Shazam. But I can't say the same about Birds of Prey, in all honesty. And I was kind of looking forward to Birds of Prey a little bit, because I like the idea of a Suicide Squad-ish R-rated Harley Quinn movie where she forms a team with Huntress and Canary and Cassandra Cain. So I was kind of looking forward to it, even though I looked at the trailers and kind of went, like it looks fine. But sadly, I did not like Birds of Prey. I thought it was kind of boring, unremarkable, not very funny, and just lacking in any real kind of soul or energy that would make me really give a crap about what was going on. A lot of the movie is swearing and people punching each other and shooting each other and breaking bones, and it's just flat. It's a flat line as far as investment goes into where you actually care about what's going on and what its supposed themes are, because it's a mess. And it's not as messy as Suicide Squad, where it's something that was very clearly distorted through editing into something that it was never meant to be. Like, Suicide Squad was initially going to be a darker, more dramatic film before Warner Brothers had a panic attack after the reception of Batman vs. Superman and hired a trailer team to re-edit the actual movie into a really shit Guardians of the Galaxy clone. So that didn't work out well for them, because Suicide Squad sucked ass. But the big problem with this movie is its script. It's 100% the script. Like almost 100% the scripts. That's the problem with this movie. Because the visual style, I think, is quite interesting. I think there are some sequences in this movie that do show a flash of creativity, and some of it rather striking, or some of it rather brilliant in some cases, that I thought, ooh, or it kind of piqued my interest a little bit. I think Harley Quinn continues to be the best part of this series that she's been a part of, the Suicide Squad-ish kind of stuff. Because I thought she was easily the best part of Suicide Squad. That movie just completely wasted her talent. And here she is once again being the best part of the movie. And the movie just completely squanders her talent yet again. And it's a messy movie too. It's badly paced. It's not as badly paced as Suicide Squad, but for the first half of this movie, it was like the screenwriter wanted to imitate Tarantino with how he does his time-bending, time-twisting kind of stuff. And I get that it's reflecting the, manic personality of Harley Quinn, where she kind of doubles back on herself and skips over some things because of her mindset at the time of telling the story and all that. But it just doesn't work in the first half. It gets better towards the second half, and I do think the second half is better than the first half. That first half, I reached a point where I thought to myself, I kind of hate this. There's really, like, I thought that as I was sitting there just bored. I just sat there, and I have, in real life, for people who don't know me personally, I have a resting bitch face. That's just how I look. My normal default face is just kind of a resting bitch face. So whenever I sit there during a movie and I have this look of resting bitch face on me, and it slightly becomes more resty bitch facey, that's how you know that I'm not liking the movie. And people that have seen movies with me personally can attest to that. You can very clearly tell. I make it very obvious when I'm not liking a movie, because people will look over and they'll see me slouched over in my chair with my chin in the palm of my hand on my arm rested on one side of the seat going, and that's how I felt at one point during this movie. It's how I felt at multiple points during the first half of this movie. And it just, the time travel stuff, or not time travel, but the time turning twisty stuff, it doesn't make for a cohesive film experience. Whereas someone like Tarantino can get away with something like that because, you know, he's a fucking amazing screenwriter and director. I don't think this screenwriter really knows what the hell she's doing when it comes to stuff like this. And, you know, I don't think it's 100% her fault because, you know, you got Margot Robbie in there as an executive producer, so she's got her hands all over this thing. So I think some of the blame definitely has to come from Margot Robbie. Now, I think Margot Robbie is fantastic in the movie. She's great as Harley Quinn. She's got the comedic timing down, even though the material that she's spewing, for the most part, isn't particularly funny. Like, this movie is really try hard with its humor. It's one of these movies, these R-rated superhero movies that learned the wrong lesson from Deadpool, the first one, where they thought, oh, if we just say fuck and if we just say shit and pussy and tit and all these swear words, and we have people explode into gory chunks, then that will guarantee success. We will have great success with our comedy if we have that. No. You gotta actually have good jokes and good comedic timing. And I think Margot Robbie is game to the comedic timing of it all, but she's not, the screenplay just doesn't do her character justice. It just gives her this Harley Quinn-esque dialogue to say that's just not very funny. And the same goes with the rest of the cast, where a lot of the humor derives from them swearing, where it's, oh, fuck this and fuck that and shit this and pussy this and titty that, and it just makes me sit there and go, okay. And I swear, like, I saw this movie with, you know, before some of you motherfuckers out there think, oh, you're just saying that because it's women. I saw this in a theater with mostly women, and they weren't laughing either. So, take that, fuckers. I don't think it's funny. The women I saw this movie with around me didn't really think it was all that funny. Because I didn't really hear any laughter from this movie until maybe the ending. And that's when it got okay towards the end. The best this movie ever gets is it's okay when it reaches these peaks of striking imagery and some occasional creativity and brilliance in the sequence or the set piece. Occasionally it gets there, but it never maintains that consistency throughout the whole thing. So you're left with this movie that's just not very well written and just kind of shit in most cases. It's not as shit as Suicide Squad. Let's be clear about that. It definitely has a leg up over Suicide Squad. And I would go so far as to say, and I know some people are gonna fucking hate me for this, I did like it slightly more than Joker, because with Joker, I just thought, oh, this is Taxi Driver, but stupid. At least with this movie, it's not trying to do some big social message crap like Joker tried to do and failed horribly at. Harley Quinn at least knows what it is. It's trying to be a comedy, and it's trying to be a very, very dark and violent comedy, but a comedy nonetheless. It knows what it is, and I respect it for that, and that's why I like it slightly more than Joker. And Ewan McGregor, I think he is one of our best living actors. I think he is a fantastic actor in the right role. I think he is fantastic in the Star Wars prequels as Obi-Wan. He's done numerous terrific performances, like oh god, there's like so many that he's done. Even in like crap movies that he's made, he's always been like the good part of them. And I was excited to see him as Black Mask, because I really like Black Mask, and I like the idea of Black Mask finally being in one of these movies. But he is awful. He is so awful as Black Mask. Look, Black Mask is a psychopath. We all know that from the Batman comics, but Ewan McGregor plays him as like this, like he takes it to such a like an over-the-top, goofy, like not even deliciously evil, but just annoyingly psychotic, where he just acts like this raging psychopath, but he doesn't have any charisma to go along with it. And Ewan McGregor can be a very charismatic actor, but again, it's the screenplay, because it's the screenplay giving Ewan McGregor this shit material to work with, and Ewan McGregor, I guess, doesn't understand what to do with the character, so he mistakes it, where he goes, oh, I should play this as over the top as possible, and he does it, and it comes across as laughably terrible. I thought he would be the highlight of the movie, but he turned out to be a character that whenever he popped up on screen, I kind of just rolled my eyes and went, oh no, here we go again with this over the top silly shit from Black Mask. Here we go. And I think Black Mask, the way he's written, plays into a much deeper, bigger problem with Birds of Prey, where, and I hate to sound like one of these fucking stupid anti-woke, anti-SJW people that, you know, you see on Twitter that go against the backlash to the backlash of something or what have you. So I'm just gonna give it to you guys straight. Okay, this is another one of these movies that is very much like, woo, girl power, yay, girl power, but doesn't do it in a way that is fair or interesting or relatively new. Where I think, for a positive comparison, I think something like Mad Max Fury Road does that extremely well. Where Mad Max Fury Road has really great female characters, you know, Furiosa and the wives, like they all are given, almost all of them are given interesting personalities. Furiosa is a fucking badass, and she can more than hold her own against Max, and that's what makes them likable. Like, these characters are powerful women, even in the face of men that treat them well and hold them in high regard. That, to me, is how you make an interesting, you know, feminist, equal thing for women movie. That's how you do it. I think another example is the Fast and the Furious movies, where you got the characters of Michelle Rodriguez and Dom's sister and the hacker chick, and hell, Charlize Theron in that movie. Interesting female characters that are either teaming up with or going against other men and women. That is how you do one of these equal opportunity movies. If you really want a movie that it has these, you know, this like equal time for women and men kind of thing, where women look badass, Fast and the Furious, Mad Max Fury Road, Aliens, good shit. All those movies, good shit. The problem that I have with Birds of Prey is that it portrays its empowerment of female characters by making every single man in this movie either incompetent or a raging psychopath. I don't think in this entire movie there is a single male character that is portrayed in a positive light. And the only one male character that is portrayed in a positive light in this movie ends up being a piece of shit in the end, ends up being a sellout. So, to me, that was annoying, because I don't buy into this feminist thing where these women, they're trying to make these women look good and look empowered by artificially stacking the deck so heavily against men in this movie. And I'm not one of these stupid people that are like, oh, men's rights activists or any of that shit. I didn't cry when fucking Mad Max Fury Road came out. I don't care. Like, I just want to see a good movie. But even when I look at Birds of Prey, I see it as this very, like, it's very artificial in its portrayal of feminism and female empowerment. It's because it never provides the women with any kind of good compare and contrast with the men. Because of course they're gonna look better against men that slice the faces off of women and cut their throats and lick their face and constantly grab their crotch and fucking think, oh fuck yeah, these women, do what you're told, woman. Just suck my dick and shut the fuck up, woman. Of course the female characters are gonna look better compared to that. That's not good writing. That's not good female empowerment. Because that's just so one-sided to the point of being irritating. And it's not fair. And I bet you if they made a movie like exactly like this, where all the men in this movie behaved, they wrote the roles exactly like this, where these women are raging psychopaths or incompetent, and you have these men that look good. And yes, you can make the argument that none of these characters are good people. Definitely. Harley Quinn, not a good person. Black Canary, I guess you can make the argument in her case. You can make the argument in Huntress's case. Cassandra, I guess it's just Harley Quinn that really you can make that argument. Because all the other female characters seem really good by comparison. Like Huntress, yeah, she murders people, but at least she isn't like, she does it for a reason. She's doing some good shit. Black Canary, she's protecting people. Cassandra Cain's just a child, just a pickpocket trying to survive. Montoya, good cop that, again, like with Montoya, with Rosie Perez's character in this movie. All the men incompetent. All the men either assholes or stupid. It's the same thing. And I bet you if they were to make a movie, flip the roles, flip the sexes, people would be pissed. You'd have a fucking Twitter storm of people going, oh, this movie is so horrible towards women. Ugh. It's the exact same thing with this. You want equal rights? Fine, but you gotta call out this shit when you see it. And I can think of male-dominated movies. I mean, some definitely do that. I'm not denying that there are not films out there that are crass, like super crass and hurtful and hateful towards women. There absolutely are, and I will criticize them when I see them. But I look at something like the Expendables movies with Stallone and Jason Statham and Schwarzenegger and all that, and I can't really think of any female characters that are portrayed as incompetently or like raging psychopaths like they do in this movie. Like, all the female characters that I can think of in the Expendables series, they're all like decent people. They're not portrayed as dumb or psychotic. So anywho, I honestly like think that is the big underlining issue with Birds of Prey, where it's just this smug feminist thing that tries to be this I guess smug artificial feminism. I guess that's the best way to describe Birds of Prey, because it doesn't stack the deck, like it doesn't even the cards fairly for both men and women. It's just woo, girl power, here's the deck, it's stacked so high, and here's the men that all are just stupid or murderers or horrible or just awful people. Of course the women are gonna look better. Why wouldn't they? So that's my political rambling, my socio-political subtextual rambling for Birds of Prey. But again, I don't like Birds of Prey. And I guess I've spent more time with the subtextual stuff, with the feminist stuff, because that to me is honestly more interesting to talk about than the movie itself. Because the movie itself is just kind of blah for most of it. You get the occasional good scene every so often, but most of it is just blah. Not very good. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Birds of Prey. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to see, subscribe. Let me know what you think about Birds of Prey. And I guess I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye.